Imagine that tomorrow you step outside and your screen is no longer in your pocket. It's floating in front of you, giant, as if the air had an invisible monitor. Google just confirmed its return to smart glasses in 2026 with Project Aura. And yes, the internet saw the prototype and said they look like cut-off ski goggles. But while everyone was laughing, Google was showing something else. Because this time they're not selling glasses with notifications, they're trying to build real computing into your face. In this video, you'll understand why Aura could be the first serious attempt to take your phone away, and also why it might crash and burn just like Google Glass. And at the end, I'll tell you the detail that decides everything, the detail that isn't technology but human behavior. Let me take you back to 2013 in one image. A person with a weird headset, a mini screen above their eye saying, "Okay Google," in the middle of a bar with everyone staring as if they'd landed from Mars. Google Glass was a brilliant idea with one huge problem: it arrived way too early. And it wasn't just one problem, but several at once. First, the privacy issue. A camera on your face changes the conversation. No matter what you say, the other person thinks, "Are they recording me?" And if they don't know, it's worse because fear grows in the space of doubt. The second was the hardware. Heat issues, battery that drained quickly, a small strange screen, and an experience that couldn't decide if it wanted to be a phone, watch, or toy. The third was that it lacked a brain. In 2013, there was no artificial intelligence capable of viewing the world and understanding it with you. Without that brain, Glass was just a futuristic shell with limited utility. And in the end, the inevitable happened. Google Glass didn't become the future. It became that weird thing people hated seeing on the street. That's why the uncomfortable question is, why would it be different now? The world has changed significantly and Meta has opened the door. Meta did one simple thing. They made glasses that actually look like glasses. That's a barrier many people underestimate. It's not just aesthetics, it's social. There's tech for home and tech for public. In public, you need to pass a silent test where people don't stare at you. Meta understood this with their Ray-Ban style glasses. If the frame looks normal, the gesture is natural, and it's quick to use, people accept it. Something incredible happened. Face cameras went from sci-fi to, "Oh, this records, how convenient." Now add the other thing that changed our world, artificial intelligence. Remember that in the description you'll find a free ebook on AI focused on the workplace for those wanting to adapt it to become more efficient, reduce workload, or even qualify for better positions. Check it out, it's completely free. Plus, we regularly share information and other free resources there that will surely interest you. Today, a model like Gemini can see, interpret, translate, summarize, recognize, and do it all quickly. This means the problem is no longer what it's useful for. The problem becomes how to put it in a format you can wear all day. This is where Google returns like a player who vanished years ago and comes back with new training, because Meta proved the world is ready for normal glasses. Google wants to leverage that path, but with a much bigger goal. Meta captures and acts as an assistant, but Google wants computing right in front of your eyes, and that difference changes everything. What is Project Aura and why is it different? Let's get to the heart of the matter. Project Aura doesn't want to be just a cute gadget, it wants to be an interface. According to what's been shown, it now comes in two flavors. One simpler version focused on audio and assistant features. We've already seen that's useful. Yes, revolutionary, not so much. But what's making the industry nervous is the other model, the one with the AR screen. Because here Google isn't talking about notifications. It's talking about a large screen floating in your world, multitasking windows and real apps. Think about this. You're walking and instead of looking at your phone, you see a route above the street as if the world had extra signage just for you. Or you're waiting for a train and have a video in one window, a chat in another, and your calendar on the side without taking anything out of your pocket. And here comes the blow to Meta. Meta's glasses don't have AR displays. They're great for capturing, asking the assistant for things, for quick moments, but they don't create a workspace in front of your eyes. It's like comparing a flashlight to a stadium spotlight. Both illuminate, but they don't play the same sport. Now, of course, it sounds incredible. And as soon as it sounds incredible, the logical question appears, doesn't that weigh a lot? Doesn't it get hot? Don't they die after an hour? And here comes a design decision that, if it works, is the anti-Google Glass. And it's the clever move of taking the brain out of the frame. The classic mistake of many smart glasses is trying to put everything in the temples. Battery, processor, antennas, heat, all stuck to your face. That's like trying to turn a cookie into an oven. There's no space and heat doesn't forgive. What Aura proposes is different. A puck, an external module that clips onto clothing or you carry. In human terms, the glasses are the display and sensors, while the muscle, battery, and computing power. This part would be external. The result, less weight on your face, less heat, more battery capacity, and a more future-proof product. This isn't just a technical detail, it's a philosophy. I don't want glasses to be a computer. I want them to be a window. And if that window uses mature optics and waveguides designed to look good in natural light, the idea stops being a demo and becomes a product. But another question remains. You have a display, but how do you control it without looking like you're swatting flies? This is where Aura tries to become natural. Hands, eyes, and voice. So no one notices you're using something. Most interfaces fail when they force you to do strange things. If you have to tap a temple 3 times and hold to reply to a message, you'll use it for 2 days, then forget about it. Aura aims for a more human-centered control. Hands, pinch to select, drag windows, zoom as if the air were an invisible tablet. Eyes, look at an element to target it. Voice, speak to Gemini to handle the rest. This matters because it removes friction, and friction is what kills habits. A silly example, but a real one. If unlocking your phone takes 3 seconds and you do it 100 times daily, each time it steals a tiny bit of attention. Now imagine that micro interaction becomes just a glance. You say, turn on silent mode, and it's done. It doesn't seem like much, but big changes start this way, with small repeated victories. And here comes the heart of the matter, the piece that transforms display glasses into a new way of living. And this is Gemini. Gemini isn't just an assistant, it's a visual co-pilot. Aura's powerful promise isn't, I have a screen. It's I have an AI that sees what you see. And that opens up very specific scenarios. You're in a new city not looking at maps, but seeing arrows in your vision as if the world speaks to you with signs. Someone speaks another language, you don't open a translator, you see subtitles where they make sense. You're at a store comparing products, not searching reviews, just asking AI to summarize pros and cons. You get a menu with unfamiliar words, the AI translates and explains, this is spicy, this contains nuts, this is heavier. You're cooking with your hands occupied. Instead of touching the screen with wet fingers, the recipe stays anchored near where you're working. And there's a key moment that for me is the mental click when the world stops being just world and becomes searchable, as if reality had a search engine on top. Even the idea of searching changes shape. Instead of drawing a circle on screen, you gesture in the air toward the real object, and AI understands this. What is this? How much is it worth? How do you use it? Which alternative is better? That actually works well. It's an advantage Meta can't easily copy because it's not just conversational AI, it's AI plus system plus environment plus applications. And here comes another huge advantage, Android XR. Android XR is the difference between a toy and an ecosystem. Some gadgets die for a simple reason. They're islands with just a couple cool features and nothing more. Google isn't positioning Aura as an island, it's connecting it to a continent, Android. Android XR means something very specific. Real apps adapted to 3D space, messaging, maps, email, videos, work tools, things you already use. And this changes the game because suddenly you don't just depend on factory features, you depend on an entire ecosystem of apps. Meta has social muscle and distribution today, yes, but lacks an equivalent Android app platform as its initial offering. Apple has a powerful spatial computing vision, but in a large, premium, expensive, not everyday format. It's a different league. Google is trying something riskier, making it everyday, something you wear, just like normal glasses. And just when the movie gets exciting, the recurring villain appears. Fear. It's about memes, privacy, and battles not won with specs. When prototypes launched, the internet did its thing. Memes, jokes, mask comparisons, pupil ad jokes, but memes are just the surface. Underneath is a real concern. Am I being recorded? And here Google has a scar from 2013. That's why the strategy now seems clear. More obvious recording indicators, explicit activation for visual features, more direct privacy controls, and importantly, a design that doesn't intimidate. That's why fashion brands enter the equation. If your product looks medical, people treat it as medical, but if it looks like normal frames, people feel comfortable. And Google isn't coming alone. Samsung appears as a partner providing industrial muscle, patents, sensors, manufacturing, and scaling capability. All this sounds like, okay, this time, they're serious. But even so, everything could die because of a phrase that has nothing to do with technology. It bothers me that you wear those because smart glasses aren't validated just on your face, but on the face of the person looking at you. And here's the big payoff of the video, the idea that sums it all up. The real reward, the actual plan, isn't to kill the smartphone, but to steal your day. Most people imagine a revolution like a switch. One day you use your phone and the next day you don't. It doesn't work that way. It works like a slow drip. First, you stop taking out your phone to check the time and you wear a watch. Then, you stop taking out your phone to pause music and use headphones. Then you stop pulling out your phone for quick directions and see it in your view. You don't replace your phone, you remove microtasks. And when you remove enough microtasks, you change how you live your day. And that's Google's plan. Meta wants glasses to be the social arm, capture, share, live in content. Google wants glasses to be the bridge between you and the world. See, understand, act. So back to the big question. Will these glasses be the first device to replace your phone or just another glass with a new name? My answer is this. Google can win if it achieves two things simultaneously. First, the experience must be so useful you use it without thinking. And second, people around you don't feel uncomfortable. If it fails at either one, it doesn't matter how good the screen is. So in conclusion, who wins? Meta has style, distribution, and mainstream appeal, with social already locked in. And Google bets on deeper advantages, AR computing, Android XR, Gemini. If Aura manages to be light, comfortable, with decent battery and reassuring privacy, it could become the first product that makes you say, wait, why am I taking out my phone for this? So yeah, now it's your turn. Do you think Meta will win through momentum or Google with true AR? Let me know in the comments with just Meta or Google and tell me why. And if you want us to analyze the next big move in AI and devices, subscribe and turn on notifications. What's coming in 2026 isn't just a product, it's a battle for your attention right before your eyes. Thanks so much for supporting this